Hey Naturally Glam fam, it's your girl Jonna. My peeps over at gorgeousandgray.com asked me to come and give you guys some hairstyle tips for the holidays. So whether you celebrate the holidays or you don't celebrate the holidays like myself, just some general hair styling and hair tips that you're going to need this winter season. I have 8 tips for you, so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1. Before any hairstyle, you always have to worry about the condition of your hair. So tip number 1 definitely is keeping your hair moisturized. And I always recommend people layer on their products. A lot of times you may hear the term lock method, which is LOC and stands for you put the leave-in conditioner, an oil or oil-based product, and then a creamy styler. Now, you don't always have to have those 3 elements, but it's just a guide to help you see the importance of layering on products. The layering on the products, it helps seal the moisture in and help that moisture stay in your hair a lot longer. In the winter time, you're dealing with the cold temperatures, the air is cold and dry, and so that can really wreak havoc and pull the moisture out of your hair. So you definitely want to make sure you're layering on products maybe a little heavier than you did in the summertime, just to maintain your hair's moisture. Another thing you can do to keep your hair moisturized is increasing your deep conditioning treatments, or even using some sort of heat or steam to help the deep conditioner better penetrate your hair. So definitely remember, moisture and your hair condition trumps any type of hairstyle. You gotta have healthy hair before you can even get to the hairstyle. Tip number 2 is protecting your hair from scarves, hats, and the collars of your jacket. Wintertime comes around, you're definitely wearing coats, you're wearing hats, you're wearing scarves. You want to protect your hair from those things because they can cause friction and can cause some damage and breakage to your hair. So you can find satin lined scarves and hats that will help keep your hair protected. You may want to find a satin scarf that you can wrap around that can protect your hair from your scarves and jackets that you wear. That's another option. Or you can even put a satin bonnet on underneath your hat. It's something you can just take on and off to help protect your hair from those things, especially if they're wool, because we all know wool can be very rough. Now the third tip, if you're going to a formal or cocktail event, maybe for work, you're looking for a hairstyle idea, updos are always a perfect hairstyle when you're looking for formal. There's so many different varieties of updo hairstyles that you can go with. You know, go to Instagram for inspiration, go to Pinterest for inspiration, and then you know that will give you some really cute formal updo hairstyle. Number 4 is use hair accessories. A lot of times we forget about hair accessories and they can really jazz up a look. There's so many different types of hair accessories that you can wear that are themed for that. Maybe they're just, you know, glittery, or maybe they have some sort of flower. Those are things that you can use to enhance your hairstyle. A lot of times when people have shorter natural hair and they are looking for something to sort of jazz up their TWA, that's an option for you to go with. So don't count out hair accessories. Okay, tip 1, 2, 3. Tip number 5. If you're trying out a new hairstyle yourself for an event, or if you're just going to be hanging out with family and friends, definitely do a test run on the hairstyle. You don't want to be trying to do a new hairstyle that you've never done before the day of an event or the day before, because we all know as naturals, sometimes the style does not turn out how you intended, and you don't want to have a failed hairstyle the day of your big event or the day you're going to go see your family and friends you may not have seen in a long time. So before it comes, definitely try the hairstyle out a few times to make sure you got it down pat. Make sure the products that you have are actually good for that style. You don't want to find out that it leaves flakes in your hair and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to try products you've never tried before. Like, this is a big deal for you. Then you want to make sure you have tested out this hairstyle long before it's time for your big event. Tip number 6 is an option for it instead of doing it yourself. Tip number 6 is take this opportunity to go to a natural hairstylist. Like, what better time if you're going to a formal event? That's the time to treat yourself. Go to a hairstylist, spend a little extra change, but get your hair done professionally. It's a great way to relax because this time of the year can be hectic and stressful for a lot of people. Take the worry off of yourself. Go to a hairstylist and get your hair done by a professional. Now, along with that, the same thing applies. This is not the time maybe to try a hairstylist that you've never seen and you've never gone to before, that you don't have any references on, because you don't want to walk away with your hair jacked up. So definitely make sure you do your research if it's not a stylist that you're familiar with, to make sure that they can give you the look that you're wanting. Tip number 7, as naturals, sometimes we can feel like when it's a special occasion or a special time of year that we have to straighten our hair. So my tip number 7 is, don't feel like you have to straighten your hair because you have a formal party or something to go to. Don't feel like you have to straighten your hair. You do not have to straighten your hair. There are tons and tons of really beautiful formal styles that you can wear with your natural hair texture. So yeah. And tip number 8 really doesn't have much to do with hairstyling as much as it just has to do with this time of year. You may have to be around family and friends that you have not seen in a while. And this is really for more so for new naturals, and for some that have been natural for a while too, but really for people that are new naturals this season. Sometimes your family and friends are not ready. Sometimes because they're family, they feel like they can say any and everything to you, and quite frankly, people can be downright rude. So you have to prepare yourself for that. So just be prepared. Know that people are going to say different comments. People are going to make jokes, especially if there's alcohol involved, because we all know how sometimes alcohol can make people have loose lips and they don't really think about what they're saying before they say it. So just be prepared for that and try not to be offended. Just keep it cool. You know, don't get upset. You know, it may be hard, but try not to get upset just because you know ahead of time somebody might say something silly. Just know that ahead of time. And also know that your family and friends may have questions, and sometimes the way they ask the question, it can just kind of give you a funny feeling. So try not to be defensive. If people are asking you questions, they may sincerely be curious and not really know how to say it right. So try not to be easily offended if people do have questions about your hair or why you wanted to go natural, or they say different things like, well, I could never go natural, or I don't have that good hair. Sometimes people, you know, they just say things. You just kind of got to give them a free pass. You don't want to ruin your time with your family and friends because they're saying something silly and you don't want to get upset. Don't let that get to you. Just keep your head up and just remember why it is that you decided to go natural, and you know, just be prepared and know that it happened. So those are my 8 hairstyling tips for the winter season. I hope you guys found that helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.